Here we go. Okay, so pictures. I found this one interesting. It's in France. Now this, look, this is on the street, right? This is a street by the looks of it. We've got some people down here. You can see the size of these statues, but look at this little collection of statues we have. Oh, look, is that Charlie Chaplin? Could be. Sitting under a big, very ornate lamp. Sorry, the pixels aren't that good on this picture. This dude is standing there holding someone's head up. This is, who is that with the wing? Has he got wings on his head? I'm not sure, but he looks like someone you wouldn't want to meet in a dark alley. But yeah, look at this construction. This is like a cathedral, right? There's a cathedral, what we sort of call cathedral ceilings in here. And it's just like this little, I don't know, statue viewing deck, which I find pretty interesting. So is this what was all around back in the day? Because we don't see stuff like this anymore. You know, they've smashed all the statues pretty much, you know, changed them to the crappy stuff we see today, you know, which is basically advertising, right? And this guy's got a big club. So it's a bit interesting. All right, let's see what the next picture is. Again, no, this is Florence. So check out this building. Of course, they have put the clock in here. The clock, so we know when to go to work, right, and when to have lunch. So clocks are a big scam. But as you can see down here, we've got this massive statue. Again, you know, naked Greek, Italian, Roman type person, and little people, right? Tiny little people. Look at the size of this statue. Like, you know, that's like 5 times as tall as a person, which is ridiculous. And just old world buildings built out, looking very old. You can see this one they've gone and filled the windows in. You can see the old archways here. Oh, and look, we've got a cross. It looks like it might be the Red Cross or something there. The Red Cross, oh my God, they're, of course, you know, Maui, right? They're stopping, you know, all these agencies like the Red Cross, FEMA, all these, they're stopping, you know, people trying to help each other, trying to give out food and water, to the point where people from other islands are having to bring it in on boats and get it to people on the beach, right? And try and get it out to people before they get caught by the police, because the police are literally stopping people from giving out these supplies. It's a complete attack, man, on definitely on, you know, Maui and Lahaina, but on all of us. So to me, this is something that's going to really wake people up, is the whole Maui thing. It's just unfortunate it had to go that far. And this is what they do. This is the old world, right? Amazing architecture, antiquitech, you know, built to last forever. And what do? They knock it down and they replace it with brutalism, right? This is Sunderland. You've got Birmingham here, again, destroying this amazing old world building for this disgusting, brutal piece of crap. London, I mean, look what they've torn down, man, to replace it with this. So this is, you know, this is just an attack on us and our world, right? Another one here in Manchester. This is what they do. And so, you know, this is a takeover of the realm. It looks like it's been going since the 1700s, as far as I can work out, was the last kind of reset, at least where we get pictures and books and things from. And then, you know, obviously into the 1800s, they start creating their reality, right? And trying to force us to live in it. So, you know, we fell for that for a while, but, you know, they did that because after a reset with all the destruction and everything, you know, basically people are MKR ultra'd, right? They're in a state of fear, delusion, and, you know, these demons have walked in and offered them solutions, but as we know, their solutions are only for them. They're not for us. Here we have a floating ship. I haven't got the date on this, Frank. I've only got half the top, but check this out. All right, now these look like they're made of metal, so they don't look like, you know, they would if you filled them with air or you know, whatever, helium, hydrogen, that they would float. And look at the sails. Are these some kind of electrostatic sails, something that's actually giving it lift? And these just bays? I mean, these look more like they're for floating, right? So I can land in water, but check these out. You know, all with their little antennas on top. This looks like some kind of, you know, ether energy, electrostatic energy collector that is giving it lift. And this is what electrostatics do. You know, there's quite a few videos around that you can just get things to levitate if you know how to use the electrostatics. And everyone here, are they throwing rocks or are they just waving? I'm not sure. Maybe they're doing a dance. Maybe they're doing a dance. Here we have a boat. Now, this is an ironclad. Again, check out these masts. Are they made for sails or are they made to collect energy maybe? You know, we're told that these bits here, they call them crow's nests. We're told that they're for, you know, sailors to climb up so that they can see, right? Get a better view. So why have they got three is one good question. But these ironclads, they tell us that they were wooden boats that they started covering in iron. Now, does that make much sense? I don't know. This, to me, looks like recovered tech from the old world, which I think a lot of things were, especially trains, which I do want to get into a video on. All these old trains that back in the 1800s, they were just destroying them and running them off bridges and running them into each other and literally selling tickets. They'd have events and they'd sell tickets and people would all come and watch them destroy trains, which is quite interesting. Here we go. So some more. These are balloons, obviously, but check out how many people are on this. Like this, it's just full of people, just like a floating deck. Not sure what this is, but again, is you know, look at the shape of it. It looks like a Van der Graaf generator, doesn't it? You know, so are we looking at all this wrong? You know, are the balloons just where they've changed this shape slightly, filled it with air to say, oh no, they were just balloons. They were just balloons floating above castles. You know, what has gone on in the past? This is Rome. What does it say? Frascati Villa. Check out this place. Very, very old looking. And this is what we see everywhere, right? This is the front wall. And look how ornate it is. Right? And what is it with these, you know, these pots? I don't know what else to call them, right? They're everywhere. What were they for? Did they have mercury in them? Maybe. Oh, okay. So these are empty. And are they? Oh no, these have got just that old world iron in them, like the gates. But look what we have up the back here. But a massive building sitting on this huge platform, this foundation, and we see this a lot. Most of the time, this stuff is underground, right? And we might just see the top of these arches. But there are a few photos around like this where you can actually see the original foundations. And of course, towers, right? The twin towers, one on each side. Just like the Crystal Palace had this as well. And on the top of all buildings with the domes, they normally have four of these and a dome in the middle, right? The four pillars and the dome. Is that a representation of our realm, right? We are under the dome. Elephants in Florida. Just a random pick. Did you know there used to be lots of elephants in Florida? And of course, yes, I'm going to Florida again soon. Hopefully the link is below. I'm pretty sure it's below. If you go check out the description, tickets still available. Come spend a couple of days with me and it will be awesome. We're staying on, I think it's 40 acres, you know, this amazing piece of land. It's going to be awesome. So check that out, especially if you're in the area. More elephants in Florida. What was going on here? How did they get all these elephants to the USA from Africa, right? Or maybe were they already there? You know, because this is what they love to do is they get things, you know, either buildings, customs, animals, and, you know, that they try and tell us they're just from one place, right? Like elephants are from Africa or the Asian elephant, and then they just wipe out the elephants everywhere else. So that and sort of make us think that they're from one place. And they do this with cultures a lot, where in reality they're probably just wiping out, you know, the remnants of these, whatever they are, in all the places, you know, to create anomalies, right? The anomalies, interesting word. Anomalies don't exist if there's more than one of them. This, I'm not even sure what this is. I don't know. Let's go to the next one. Florence, the interior of the Palazzo della Signoria. Okay, this is the kind of stuff that we had, right? Nice fountains everywhere. Clean water without fluoride, right? That was free for everyone. And look at these columns. I mean, just look at the ornate artwork here. Got some twins here with snakes. Is that electricity? Don't know. And sorry if the resolution's not the greatest on some of these, but these roofs, these arched vaulted ceilings, right? They're called vaulted. Now, they spell it V-A-U-L-T-E-D. Is it the same as a V-O-L-T-E-D, right? Volts, electricity, right? Through the arc, right? Which, again, they change it to arch instead of arc. Is this arcing electricity across the vaulted ceiling, right? The voltage across the arc. What do you think? Okay, this is that picture we saw at the start. Well, the same place, different picture. It's 8, does that say? No, it's not a date. Florence, interior of the Palazzo della. So this is the same place as the last picture. And, you know, check out the artwork here. And of course, what are they trying? This is what they're trying to destroy as well, right? Creativity and imagination. We don't have artists, you know, doing this kind of stuff anymore, creating this kind of amazing artwork. It's just being destroyed. And of course, the imagination, which is where all this comes from, is also the link to your higher self, to spirit, to the universe, to God, whatever you want to call it. It's because clearly, right, the creator, it's the creator. So, you know, we have to be creative to link up to the creator, but that's what they're trying to sever, is our connection. Scheepvaart in Het, yeah. Amsterdam. So this is Amsterdam. Up here, lots of cherubs. Not much symbolism really. They're just sort of flying around. And the old world boats, which of course, this is what they apparently used to colonize Australia and, you know, every other place that was colonized in the 1800s. And these are apparently what they were bringing horses and cows and cattle and livestock on, floating them across the sea for 6 months, and they'd get up on the other end and they'd be alive. That's an interesting story too, right? This is, I don't think it's Harlem. The old world cities, right? We see this everywhere. Star City, all right? It's a star city, walled. But the other thing is they just very cement, you know, they're very designed, right? They're built. You can see this has been designed as a city. You know, you don't get things set out like this if you just, you know, start, you know, by a couple of people, you know, building houses, then it grows and grows and grows and grows. You don't end up with something like this. So these cities were designed and built as a city, right? I mean, and the walls should really, you know, let us know that, right? Because what do we think? That they kept expanding the walls and knocking down the old ones until they got out here, or they just, you know, built a wall and it's like, this is as big as it can grow? No, that it was designed as part of the whole thing, part of the whole setup. Everything was connected back in the day. Free energy, right? We had access to everything. And of course, the massively oversized cathedral in the middle here. And here we have said massive oversized cathedral with this huge spire up into the air. course, they love to change these spires into crosses and things, right? Make them religious. But look at the size of this. Okay, massive, huge construction. And here we have the tech, right? A horse. This guy hasn't even got wheels on his wagon. He's just got a sled, right? So these people, all of course, wearing the same clothes. Don't know where the clothes came from still. There's something going on there. But this is what we're supposed to believe, is that these people had the tech to build this. And you can see here, it's not the best shot, but it looks there's like bits of broken wood and stuff. You know, they've had a go at doing something, but they want us to believe that they were building this. And I'm not sure of the date on this. Have we got it down here? Let's have a look. 1414 maybe. Saint Catharina, 1470. I'm not sure if they're dates, but if they are 1400s, I mean, the clothing, it sort of looks a bit more 1600s, who knows? But, you know, could they build this? And if so, why would they? What's with the size, right? Why are they so big? Star forts. Star forts are awesome. Nandan. And again, you know, the city is walled, right? This has been designed as one thing. And you can see here again the massively oversized cathedral. And this is a good, you know, depiction, because most of the remnants of the star cities, we can only see the inside wall. That's all we get now. But as you can see on these, and a lot of the old world maps of cities, there's multi-layered walls, right? So all of this stuff is under the ground. And I heard, actually, I think it was Kelly was telling me that someone's been working on Petra, and they've found that Petra goes way, way down, has heaps and heaps of underground levels, which is very interesting, right? Like, we know that everything has. So obviously, you know, Archaics talks about these resets with, and you know, the evidence is out there of lots of dirt falling from the sky. So how many times has this happened, you know, to cover up so much? But look at this, all right? Antiquitech, and we've got wires coming off it into the building. Over here, same thing, right? They're all wired up. And is that some kind of tuning fork? I don't know. What do you think? But again, look at this amazing structure. Look at the size of these windows. Imagine trying to put that together. Back in the day, right? They call it lead light because it's, you know, little bits of glass and they're connected with lead. All right, so imagine trying to build this, you know, with no technology, no cranes, nothing like that. But, you know, the story is right, is if you get enough people and enough time, you can do anything. You don't actually need the skills or the materials to do it. You can just do it, you know, if the king wants it so, right? Is this Dublin? Devlin? I think it's Dublin. Not sure. Another old world city. Not the best sort of shot here. I'm not sure why I put this one in. Interesting. More, right? More of these old world cathedrals. This is what was everywhere, and we only think that, you know, that they're sort of anomalous now is because they've destroyed so much. They've just knocked it all over, so that we can't know our past, and also so that we can't, you know, have access to the tech, and we don't believe the tech existed, right? I mean, even 10 years ago, if you were talking about free energy, you know, most people would just laugh at you, like literally 99%. And now it's kind of almost common knowledge that free energy is definitely a thing. It is. But of course, they don't want us to have anything for free, right? All these old buildings, again, wooden fence, right? Dirt roads, and this amazing thing in the background. So clearly two different types of tech here. Oversized gates and lights. These are kids, obviously, so adults up here maybe, but look at the size of this. Imagine the gates that hung off that, and so thick, right? The materials they put into this. And of course, it's always sandstone, limestone, granite, these types of things that are used, or at least can be used, to make free energy, like capacitors and things. This is the kind of materials you would use. Mississippi Railway, direct route. Look at the size of this bridge. That's massive. So this is, we've got a date here, 1883. January 1st, 1883. Direct route between the east and west. They just built this bridge. Or did they just open it? Did they discover it and find it? St. Louis, Cincinnati. Anyone from St. Louis in chat? Say hello if you are. Oh, got double picks. All right, so pyramids. This is Pyramid of the Sun, I believe, in Mexico. Is it, how do I say it? Teotihuanacu? No, Teonich, I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, Pyramid of the Sun. But this was it in 1900. A hill, a mound. This is it, 2022, uncovered. Right, so again, even the pyramids have been covered in dirt. So how old are they? How many resets did that take? And we're discovering more of these around the world. Obviously, Bosnia Pyramid, still covered. And there's, excuse me, there's another one. I think it's in, I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure the country, but it's called the Earthen Pyramid because, you know, these things are everywhere. And in America, they call them mounds, you know, the mound builders, when really they were pyramid builders, right? And it's just been covered in dirt. It's the cover up. But these things are everywhere. And Dr. Sam, who's been studying the Bosnian pyramid, they've done a lot of tests, and there is actually a beam going out the top of the Bosnian pyramid. I think he said 42 hertz or something like that. It looks like a communication beam. So what actually were these? It's a good question, right? Jesuit College of Louis the Great. Of course, those Jesuits, those hat wearers. Look at this. I mean, this is ridiculous, right? Look at the size of this. Look at the build out. Got statues everywhere, all these faces. Is that a fire in the middle? Some kind of, I'm not sure what this is for. And all the, you know, controllers, right, standing around. Now, I'm pretty sure these are kids. They look pretty small, right? But this dude's dressed like an adult, so I don't know. How big were the people of the past? And how big is this picture? Right? And you find this with a lot of the artwork. All these old world paintings are massive. Why is that? And the books and everything else. You know, all the star forts that we see, all the books with star forts, if you look at the actual books, they're huge. They're huge. Melbourne. Swanston Street. 1858, guys. 1858. Australia, we're told Captain Cook turned up 1788. Okay, so what's that? 80 years, right? From nothing, from in their story, from nothing, turn up to a barren land. They didn't know where anything was, didn't know what any of the materials they needed were, but within 80 years, they've found all the materials, they've built all the manufacturing plants, all the transport facilities, and they've built. And this is just one street in Melbourne, right? And, you know, look at this one here, this building, massive, another one. And again, look at the size of the walls here compared to the people. Everything is supersized, yet they show us the tech of the day, horse and cart on a dirt road. Why not? The Duke of Burgundy, a birth, right? This is, you can see the mother in the background here. Just given birth, so obviously to a duke, to one of their bloodline, right? Baby doesn't look, oh my God, interesting face. Doesn't look too happy, but, you know, why is everyone so involved that she's had a baby, right? Another one to the bloodline. We know how these people work. You know, and who do they work for? Where are their bosses? In Antarctica, maybe? Who knows? Morocco, in Barbary, right? This whole region was called Barbary, which is where the narrative tells us, you know, we get barbarians from. But of course, they tell us barbarians come from the other side, right? From Eastern Europe. But this was in Africa. So as we can see, this is a star fort. All right. I'm not sure what this is. I've got the odd ships and everyone in their really cool clothes. And this, what are they doing here? Oh, they're fixing it, maybe doing some work. It's got a bit of a hole here. Looks like they're trying to repair this boat. It's not looking too good, is it? Because out here they're having wars, apparently. Trying to blow each other up because it's all about war, right? I've got a sunken boat here. And this is the story, right? They want us to believe that everything's about war and it's all our fault, when we know war is just an excuse for them to destroy the realm.